Well, we just sang about joy and peace and hope. And here we are starting into the beautiful season of spring. And as we started our board meeting earlier today, I just made an observation of how exciting our whole consciousness is. We're going to do things, be doing things in the very near future that we've been thinking about and hoping for a very long time. And we have the wherewithal to make it reality. And it's just quite exciting. And change never stops in this world. We try to stop it individually. We don't want things to change. We want it just like it used to be, where it's comfortable and boring. And we know it, but it's familiar. But the excitement and I don't know what you would call it, just the experience, a new experience of whatever this brand new season might bring to us. It just, to me, it's exciting. And there's enough stuff that takes away from excitement and tends to have negative impact on our lives. The birth of new flowers and new weeds, and new experiences and new opportunities that just flow into our lives if we just keep our eyes open. To me, that's exciting, and I hope you catch this excitement bug of spring as well, and so it is. You're going to talk too as well as play?
I hope so.
Well, good for you.
Being we have such a huge crowd of friendly faces, or a good crowd, a solid crowd. I need some light.
There'll be more people show up at 12 o'clock.
I bet you're right. I bet you're right.
Pam Bourne used to always show up at 12 o'clock.
Patrick mentioned excitement, and I can't tell you how excited I was when he called me Thursday afternoon and said, hey, in addition to playing the piano and going to a board meeting, how about doing a mini message? Here's my initial thought that I did not express to him. Oh no, not something else to do. I don't need anything else to do. Life is very busy, busy, busy for me at the moment. And beyond Nancy and I have doctor visits and health concerns, and I'm still waiting the results of my most recent CT scan of my chest cavity. I think I'm fine. In spite of the way I act, I think I'm fine. But I was not excited to accept a mini message. But I didn't tell them that. I said, oh, sure, I'll help you. I'm always doing that. And the question is, why? Because after I hung up, I realized I may have really bitten off more than I can chew. But as you can see, I'm not too upset by having to do it. And that's because I love doing things like this. I love playing the piano. I enjoy board meetings of all things. And so I'm getting to do the things that I love to do. And I feel I do them well enough that I keep getting asked to do them again. So anyway, I take pride in these things, and I get a lot of joy from doing them. And even when they stack up one after another, it's worth my time and effort. I'm pretty sure that most of you here feel sometimes that you are busy, 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 busy. Life gets in the way. You're doing things and you're feeling overwhelmed. And that's sort of how I felt when he first asked me to add this to my list of things to do. But I realized it's just because I'm thinking I'm overwhelmed. Not because I'm literally overwhelmed. So it's really how I react to the thought of being overwhelmed that puts me in somewhat of a little funk for a little while. So then I went and I carved out some time. Instead of just thinking about it, I went to the computer and I sat down and I wrote me out a version of what this mini message might be. And this is what came forth. And as soon as I finished it, why, I wasn't so overwhelmed anymore. So I stopped thinking it, and therefore I was no longer it. So the antidote for this, for me, and maybe for you in the future, when you're feeling somewhat overwhelmed, is to step back take a deep breath, forgive yourself, picture yourself getting things done one at a time. And that's exactly what's happened to me. And now I'm actually considering maybe playing some golf tomorrow now that the sun is out. But as I finished writing all this, I did find myself totally relaxed. So I vow, I hope I keep my vow, never to think I'm overwhelmed. Again, I recommend it.
Wayne, thank you very much. And I'd like to follow up on his mini message. I think it's been 12 years that Wayne and I have had this amazing partnership. And I don't care if it's midnight, something's going wrong, somebody passes away, something, I'll call Wayne because he's got all these mailing lists on his email and stuff. I don't, and I've intentionally not done that. Because I got a partner that will. And I had a special partnership with Vivian. But Wayne and I have this partnership that has lasted, I think, 12 years, something like that, a long time. And you folks will never know the extent of his commitment and love for this Church of the Oaks. You can't imagine. I've called him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Wayne, this guy just died. Can you do it? I'll do it right now. He gets up and he does it. And if it's, I need a check, we need to do this, we need to do that. He's always, he's never said no, ever. And I take great pride in calling him and saying, Wayne, you're leaving town for 2 weeks. You owe us. You need to do a mini message. And but we have had amazing partnership. And I just give him a round of applause, please. Give Crystal Yee a round of applause. And I'm going to tell you what she's done. We have been talking about, I remember in 2001, going to a board meeting and talking with Malcolm Yule Thornton, who was the property manager at the time. This year we're going to try to put a new floor in the hall. And that was 23 years ago, 22 years ago. Yesterday, Crystal Yee came by my house. We jumped in the van and we went to Novato and we bought 2,000 square feet of new flooring to put in the hall over the next couple months. And she has researched it. She's found sales all over. We had some and then their sale ran out. We didn't have the money. And then we had the money and then we had some other stuff that she bought. It was the wrong color. And she found the original stuff that we did the little test square for our cloggers yesterday, and we went and got it. So now all we got to do is put it in, but that's a huge step that's been 20 years in the making. And it's like, that to me is exciting. The new changes coming about. So thank you, Crystal, for all the work you did. We had a board meeting today and spring has sprung. The excitement is going on. We're going to have, let's start, Healing Circle tomorrow night.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, and then on like the 25th or something at 7 o'clock. The Women's Spiritual Book Study met this last Thursday. So that was like the 8th, 7th, 6th or 7th. Something like that. So it'll be 14 days after that, 21st or something. And that's at 10 o'clock in the morning in the hall. Let's see. I have stuff. Okay, I took care of all that already. In our board meeting today, we decided that everybody does spring cleaning and stuff and moving stuff around. We're going to have a family swap meet. On Sunday, bring your stuff that you got that you want to repurpose, have somebody else have a chance to get some good out of it, right here on April 7th. That's a Sunday, right here, and bring stuff on that day, first Sunday in April, and we'll put it on the stage or put it in the hall, and if anybody wants it, they can take it. You may bring like a lawnmower and walk home with a farm animal. Who knows? Who knows? It could be anything. So, and then on April 13th, if it doesn't rain, we're going to have an area beautification work day. We're just going to do stuff, cut and hack and trim and move and whack and just do stuff. So please put that on your calendars for the 13th of April. And if it happens to rain, we're going to change it over to the 20th of April. Just postpone it a week, but look, right on your calendars, the 13th. We had, I'm going to talk about it now, but I'll talk a little bit more about it. Most of you got the email that we had an emergency cabaret, and it turned out great. We had like 30 people show up. Gloria showed up with a friend, and it was a great show, wasn't it? And high energy and great two different artists, two different bands, and we put out a tip jar for them because Lost Church kept some of the money from the ticket sales, but they got some of it, but they made like $300 last night, so that was really good. They had fans that had bought tickets, wanted to see them, and one group was from LA, the others from Berkeley, and the fans got to show up and see the show, and we had a chance to have some more great energy on this piece of property we call Church of the Oaks for all the right reasons. So that was cool. Potluck is on the 31st. That's Easter. Are we going to do an Easter potluck? We can talk about it and see how that works out. We can change it around or something. We are going to have a real cabaret on the 20-something of April, the last Saturday in April, which will be the Bluebirds. So we're going to kick the year off right. Are there any other announcements? Not? All right, then let's stand and sing In This Very Room. We got everything we ever going to need right here. Number 22 in the songbook. And now we have the wonderful opportunity and privilege of greeting each other in the traditional Church of the Oaks fashion.
Hi. I'm Ivy. This is Haley. Hi, Joy. Good morning. Hi. Very, very good. Sure. Oh, very nice. I don't know where
That's all right. I look like several.
Yeah. No, looks good. Hi. Hello.
Always look forward to it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm really excited. Yes. Are you visiting or is she visiting? Are you both here in the area? I just wondered. There's a lot of You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. We'll have to compare Saturdays so I can talk to T. How'd that happen? Come on, you know better. Yeah, I know.
And I neglected to remember, I did not forget, but I neglected to remember in a timely fashion to include in our announcements. We have new people here today, and I'd like to let them know that right after church, we go over in this building and we've got coffee and water and cookies and donuts, and we got all kinds of goodies. And that's where we sit around and talk and get to know each other and become family. So just so you know, you are quite welcome. Our abundance and our prosperity. I just spoke, we are undertaking a project that's been on the book for 20 years. And I'm so excited in that, just like when you start to freeze water, like hot water freezes quicker than cold water, because once things start to change, they pick up speed and inertia. And we're doing some amazing changes, and our board is very active and they have great ideas. And we're talking about game nights and work days and new floors and different kinds of things, activities, and that's what life is about. Having new experiences, creating new stuff. We're all creating, and therein, in our passion and our creativity and our love and acceptance, that is our greatest abundance and prosperity, our own selves. So let's read together the affirmation of abundance, may we please? To realize an abundant life, must one practice giving, receiving, and gratitude. May we ponder that wisdom, sir. prepare ourselves for a time of meditative practice, let's sing together in the stillness of the silence, number 97.
Good morning. So for our practice in meditation today, I received what I think of as a somatic practice, which is to say that it uses the body to bring our mind's focus in a certain way. And we do this every time we namaste and put our hands like this. It tends to kind of activate that heart space and automatically sync us up with our higher selves. So the practice I'm going to share today is one that I received in the fall of last year, when there were kind of a lot of intense things happening around me, not really close in, but people I knew were passing. There was, of course, strife happening in the world. And I got a very strong message to bow my head and lift my gaze. And first I thought, how do I do that? Both of those at the same time. But I realized what the guides were showing me is that, this is amazing. This is something Wayne touched on already, and Patrick as well, that there's what we think is going on, who we think we are. And then there's what's really going on, and who we really are. And it's been my experience that who we really are resides in the heart. So the practice for today is to place your hand gently on this high spiritual heart area that's just below your collarbones. Give it a couple of taps and take a couple of deep breaths into that space to just kind of activate it. As you continue to breathe into that space, notice if you become aware of